Very happy to have you here. I'm pretty sure that. What are we talking about this episode?
So I'm really glad that you mentioned that. Just before we got into today's episode, I wanted to give a shout out to a good friend of mine. She's an upcoming R&B artist right here from Providence. You can find her on Spotify, SoundCloud, or YouTube under the name Tomar Storm. She's very talented, one of the best singers I've heard in a long time. My favorite song by her is and you definitely check her out. She's wonderful, really talented. I think she's really on places, and you should help support her to get to those places.
Yes, and I'm going to go ahead and say, Samar, please take the time. If you got 15 minutes, you can come down, sing a couple songs for us, and we're going to make it look great. You can do a video, and you can be on the sessions our show that features local artists, and I think it would be a great team. Full disclosure, I was supposed to do like quite a bit of research for the show because we got Resident Evil 8.
Yep, it's coming out tomorrow.
Coming out tomorrow.
And Nick dropped the ball.
I did drop the ball. I had to move on Saturday. I actually finally moved to my own place with just me, my wife, and my child, Nova.
Shout out to Nova.
Yes, we've talked about her a few times. So I've been busy just doing all kinds of stuff, stressing out about money. I don't have that kind of thing in American dream. So
technically, the American dream is the pursuit of money. So I guess you could say we're technically living it right now.
Yeah,
Get on that grind.
Hey, we're really
enjoy the struggle.
But so I was supposed to do a ton of research that I didn't do. Pretty much all my free time playing Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube on my PC, or Risk of Rain 2 with the Starstorm mod I've just discovered. Basically doubles the items in the game. Don't worry, I'm not going to go on another 5. Was it 7?
It was 7. It was almost like an eighth of our show. You just dedicated to Risk of Rain 2.
You know, just saved your life. What was a spider on the couch?
Oh, you know what? That is definitely saving my life.
Yeah, you're
guys.
welcome.
My favorite superhero is Spider-Man, but I am 100% arachnophobic.
Yeah, I'm pretty much there too. That took a lot of courage, so you're welcome.
You're my superhero today.
Thank you.
We should make a game about you.
That would be very sad. That would be tragically sad. That you would have to do like 5 quick time events just to wake up. Like that's how long it takes me to wake up. Like Resident Evil 4 level. See, I did do some research. Quick time the game, Resi 4.
You're not wrong. But let's get into today's actual
it's like a semi-topic. We full disclosure again. I think maybe we said, "Oh, what about this?" Yeah, that was the full conversation.
That was basically
we had in the car. So it's rhythm games, right? And the first he says rhythm games. First thing I say, isn't like every game a rhythm game?
You could technically make that argument.
You know, like there's some obvious non-rhythm games. Like I think The Legend of Zelda is not a rhythm-based game.
I'd say absolutely not, especially if you're playing the Wii version. There's no rhythm there. You're just kind of like crazy. Oh, let me not hit the mic. You're kind of like crazy flailing around like the Wiimote.
Are you talking about the Skyward Sword?
I'm talking about the Skyward Sword. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some. Have you seen the boss fight, the speed run?
Yes.
That's the coolest thing ever.
That is simultaneously the coolest but the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
But it's okay. Yes, I guess the controls you have to input to make it happen are like objectively dumb. Like it looks really.
It's not intuitive.
It's so cool in the game.
I mean, yeah. So like, basically, what these two people did is that they did a speed run of Zelda Skyward Sword. You know, when you think of someone doing a Skyward speed run, wow. Level number 1. Let's go.
We are 5 minutes in.
God, it's like probably like 5 minutes, not seconds. So you're wrong. Close to 6.
Just keep going with the Borophyll.
So, when you think of someone doing like a speed run, you're probably thinking of like this one dude super intently like playing like the game. That's not what this speed run was. It was like one dude. He was like, "Yeah, I got the Wiimote," and this other dude, "I got the nunchuck," and we're just gonna like flail about for however long it's gonna take it to the game. And that was the entire speed run. And it was, like I said, it was simultaneously the coolest but the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Can I break the fourth wall really quick?
Aren't we always technically breaking the fourth wall?
In a way, yes. Could you like move your mic down and then like angle it the way I have it so we can see your beautiful face? So like yeah. So now take the swivel part of it.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about this part.
No. Oh, this part.
Yeah, and then like angle it down.
Down. Wait, did I have it right the first time?
Yeah, you did.
Oh God.
Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
All right. Good.
Yeah, because
right.
now like your face is like a little bit more in frame like mine.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. Yep. I see it.
But so like a lot of games, especially action games, are pretty much boiled down to rhythm games. My favorite series, my last week's top number 1 series of all time, the Arkham series, is a heavily rhythm-based gameplay style in the combat. When there's there's segments of like 30 plus enemies. When you're dealing with 30 plus enemies, it's all about rhythm. It's all about hitting the strike at the right time, the counter at the right time,
Your specials at the right
and
time.
then your various specials, and like I want to call them trump moves. Like for example, double X is gonna
it's a vault, isn't it?
So yeah, you basically run up the guy in front of you, and then you strike above him.
Yep.
And that can technically be used in a non-shield wielding character in that game, but it's most effective. And for me personally, I only use that when I'm fighting a shield guy. So that's not like effective other than to trump the shield guy. So you need to be on your trump moves really well. Like I said, on the strike and on the counter at the right times, and it all just boils down to getting in the rhythm.
Right. And you could argue that for most games that like if a gamer isn't in the right rhythm, then they're not going to perform as well, if at all. But if we're going on like the traditional rhythm game sense, full disclosure,
Parappa the Rappa.
I've actually never played that.
It's so good. I know it's supposed to be a kid's game, but it's so much fun. Continue.
So like my only experience with Parappa the Rappa was that PlayStation All Stars Royale game.
Oh my god! Why did you even say those words? Oh my god!
Well, because like I was like, yo, PlayStation Smash Bros. Say less.
Except everyone's covered in glue for some reason. It's so sticky and feels so.
It's such. They didn't even use the right Dante for that game.
And
I
it's
was
like specials.
I was so mad.
Specials.
It's special.
Everyone has
the game.
specials all the time.
It's special the game. You can't kill anyone unless you use a special. Literally, they won't die. They have a lot of like PlayStation. They have a lot of characters in that game that aren't PlayStation exclusives for some reason. Like Dante is not a PlayStation exclusive character.
Has he ever been?
I think the first 3 Devil May Cry games were. Devil May Cry 4 was cross-platform.
Okay.
The DMC reboot game was cross-platform. But here's the thing: they used the DMC, reboot Dante as the representative, and I was like, but he's not a Sony exclusive.
I know, right?
They used BioShock, and that's not an exclusive. I don't mean to bash on you, Sony. I love you, but you dropped the ball.
You love Sony?
I love Sony.
That is a parasocial relationship if I've ever heard.
What?
That is so Stockholm syndrome to say that. I swear to God.
All right.
I could say that I mess with Sony. I could say that I like aspects of their games, But they make TVs too. I don't love their TV. I don't know why you're saying love. Sony.
Well, when I refer to Sony, I'm talking about like their gaming things. Spider-Man.
He loves Sony because they own Spider-Man.
They do.
If Dr. Fix-It owned the rights to Spider-Man, then he would absolutely then he would say he loves.
I mean, I love Dr. Fix-It regardless.
We do love Dr. Fix-It regardless.
But like it'd be a little bit stronger of a love. Are we making it weird now?
I can feel it coming. Yeah.
All right. So again, getting back on topic. Full disclosure.
Third use of that phrase.
Full disclosure.
In the first 10 minutes of the show.
Full disclosure. That would be the 5th time I've used full disclosure. Now 6th. I'm awful at rhythm games.
And it makes perfect sense. Want to know why? He's a drummer. Figure that out.
I don't know. I feel the rhythm, and then I go to play the rhythm, and my hand's like, what are you doing right now? Stop it.
That's so weird, man. Because I have a really bad disconnect between my left and right hand. I wanted to be a music major. I went to college, and in the first couple of years, I figured out can't do this anymore. I cannot get my two hands to work together.
They call that being ambidextrous.
Well, but you some people who aren't ambidextrous can still play the piano. They can play the guitar, the drums. I can do none of those things because I can't
get good scrum.
These things aren't a team. It's just this thing is something that can be articulated in a particular sense, and this just doesn't follow suit.
You want to know what's funny is that I have that same problem with my right hand and my right foot.
What?
So that's actually super important as a drummer.
Oh, because of the kick. Okay,
my right hand and right foot always want to do the same thing.
The same exact thing.
And
I
can never get them to just do opposite.
That's what my left and right hand does.
But
so with rhythm games, because it's almost always button based and the buttons are on one side, my right hand is doing all the rhythm work. Some games will include needing to lean and do things at certain times, but those are the hardest things for me. That's actually why in the beginnings of my DMC5 playthroughs, I had a lot of trouble because you need to use the stick in tandem with the buttons for specific combos. Now, I played that game so much that it was able to sort of bridge that gap, but in the beginning, it was terribly difficult for me to do that. That's another really good.
You really do. You need to. That is a game where you really need to have a certain type of rhythm going, or you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah, you're not going to get stylish if you don't get it in line. If you don't get the rhythm of everything right.
It'd be C rating every mission.
It's so cool. It's like every enemy has their own. If we're gonna break it down to rhythms, every enemy has their own beats that need to be hit.
Yep.
And they all have random times when those beats are really relevant.
Yep.
And so you make a different song every time. You could even if you have 3 of the same enemy and you spawn in a world and you just keep doing 3 of the same enemy. Because the AI chooses different things to do at different times, it's always going to be a different rhythm.
Absolutely.
But that there's a certain consistency to it.
Yeah. Speaking of Dante, very very rhythmic character, and I'm not saying that because of the way you have to play the game. I'm saying that because in DMC3 he literally has a weapon that is an electric guitar that turns into a scythe, and then in DMC5 he pays tribute to Michael Jackson.
He
does. Moonwalks.
He does.
It's impressive.
That cutscene is so
funny.
Bizarre.
It's so funny.
It's very bizarre.
It kind of came out of nowhere.
Nico makes that cutscene for me. The way she's fangirling. She's such a good character.
I love Nico, but so me knowing that I'm really bad at rhythm games, I don't know if you knew, Kingdom Hearts came out with a rhythm game.
I did know that.
I did know that. Yup, and I'm really bad at it.
I know.
I haven't beat. And it's frustrating for me. So here's the thing with me. And there's actually like a very particular reason why I'm specifically bad at this. So like as a drummer, like I love just learning the the different pieces for like different for like different songs. So like I've been playing like learning Kingdom Hearts, drum pieces on my own time for years, like years and years and years. I think I started drumming when I was about 11 or 12 years old, and I started learning Kingdom Hearts music about the time I was 13 or 14. So we're going on about like 10 or 11 years now of just like this one specific way I know how to play all these songs. And then this game comes out, and I'm like, oh, dude, like it's a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game. I'm gonna nail it. I'm gonna kill this game. Gonna 100% it. Get that platinum trophy. Start playing it, and I failed like the second song. And that was very, very disheartening for me. And here's the thing. With a lot of rhythm games, like like the button prompts usually match up twice. Two strikes. How far are we? 10, 15?
I hope.
Oh God, we're not doing good today. We're going the button prompts for the game, for any rhythm game, usually match up pretty well with the actual rhythm of the song. And that's all fine and dandy. But because my hands hear this song and they automatically want to start doing the drum beat to that song, like it literally 3.
5.
All right. Running the show by myself. Just me. By myself.
All day. Every day.
And I are
one pillow. No cakes.
Shout out to Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be awesome if Kevin Hart like watched our shows just because like we like hashtag
You know what?
this?
Kevin Hart strikes me as the type of guy who's got time on his hands. All the time.
Respectfully, of course. No. So like the rhythm like follows. So like I hear like the Destiny Islands theme song, which is like iconic, and like my fingers automatically start like tapping it out, but they won't match with the button prompts on the screen. So like I fail epically every single time. So it got to the excuse me. Boys and girls, don't chug a Mountain Dew in a Red Bull as you're about to do a show.
It could be something worse than Red Bull.
I'm confused as to what you mean by that.
What famously do you make as a drink that goes with Red Bull?
All right. We're keeping it PG-13, Nick. We can't be talking.
Oh, you can't say Jägermeister. That makes something not
You're gonna get us demonetized.
Oh yeah, because we're cashing in.
Full disclosure. I do this for. I don't know where I'm with that. I feel like I wanted to make a joke, but like I kind of kept fumbling over my words, and now we just made it.
He's
awkward.
at 5. If we get to 6, I'm walking off.
You already walked off.
You already left. I mean, that was a joke.
No.
What do you mean?
You were out of frame.
Is this like the ghost, like when you play Gran Turismo? This is like
I never
last week's ghost of me that's here.
I never played Gran Turismo. I don't get that reference.
You never played a racing game where you race against your ghost? Have you never done that?
Probably not.
Okay, well the idea is that the first time you ever do like a time thing,
Yes.
okay, that's your best time.
Yes.
So then if you enter the map again,
so I've done that.
See that
I've done that, but like in a Super Mario. I get the reference now. I understood that reference.
Okay, thanks, Cap. Speaking of Cap, shout out to Anthony Mackie. You are amazing, and you deserve to be Captain America, and I'm very happy that you are. And it was totally worth watching the entire series to just basically sums up you going, okay, I will be Captain America in 6 episodes.
Who were you supposed to be?
I'm Captain America. I thought he was on the moon.
So Getting off topic for a second, I love the humor in the MCU movies. I was kind of rewatching Age of Ultron yesterday, and I love that part of the movie where it's like the beginning of the movie. They're going after like Strucker's men, and Iron Man like goes into that, and all of the soldiers start like shooting at him, and he's like, "Guys, stop! We got to talk about this." Shoots them all, and he's like, "All right, good talk." And you just hear, "No, it wasn't."
Yeah, no.
Like the one person, like, "No, it wasn't."
The same guy who said no, it wasn't, is the guy who gets on the phone and says, "It's the Avengers," and then they're like, "Do we have the weapons? Can we hold them off?" And he just repeats, "It's the Avengers." That's the same exact guy.
I love that.
He says, "No, it wasn't." Also, another. I don't care if we talk about stuff that's not games on this one. I really don't care. I really like when he's looking for the secret door. He's like, "Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door." Yay! What was our topic again?
Rhythm games.
Something about cats. Game. Oh God! Oh, don't look at me like that again. Ah, he's still looking at me like that.
Guys, our name is Gamecast.
I know, but listen. I mean, we're both cool guys, and there's a time in this country, in this world, in this place we live, where people would have been like, "Those are a couple cool cats right there," and we're talking about video games, so we're the game cats. Do you see where am I unbounded in this?
You want to know what the one part of the whole little rant there that makes it unfounded is?
What?
You said there was a time in a
because
that we would have been called. There was.
Well,
we are no
there's
longer
a market for nostalgia.
Are we in that market right now?
We can be.
No.
All right, fine.
That's not this week's episode.
On with the game cast.
God. So we actually came up with Gamecast. We're going over the origins of Gamecast, guys. We actually came up with Gamecast. If you actually go back to like our first episode.
Yeah, So I wanted to have this graphic, right? The idea came from so we're doing a podcast. We're doing gaming, and there's this movie called Malibu's Most Wanted. Have you seen that movie?
Oh yeah, no, I actually don't know this part of the story, so I'm glad that
okay,
I'm getting the uptake on this.
Yeah,
That's
basically,
nice.
Malibu's Most Wanted is about this kid, this very rich, well looked after white kid who starts listening to gangster rap music and starts emulating a gangster. And he lives in Malibu, Florida, on a mansion on the beach. So he's as far away from a gangster that you can be. But he acts like it. And his dad is a politician. And it starts becoming very apparent that his political career can't exactly continue if if his son keeps making a mockery of himself and his political campaign. So the dad hires two actors who are cool, and they pretend to be gangsters, and they actually do real life kidnap with permission from their dad. This kid's like in his 20s though; it's totally illegal, of course, to kidnap him.
Wouldn't that be like a adult act at that point?
No, it's actually still called kidnapping. Legal. By the way, a PSA, kidnapping is moving someone from a primary location to a secondary location without their permission. So if I were to hold Peter here at some sort of weapon point, and he didn't want to move, and I told him that we were going to go in our back room in our studio over there.
So like I was gonna do like this really funny thing where like you just had your hand out, it was open, and there we go. Thank you.
And I told him, if you don't go into that studio, I'm going to hurt you. That this was the primary location. That was the secondary location. He was kidnapped. Take that for what you will. So they kidnap him, but then real stuff does go down. They try to scare him into not acting like a gangster anymore, and it doesn't work. He just leans into it. He always tries to be a gangster. But so there's a point in the movie where this guy is trying to relate with the Malibu's Most Wanted kid, with the white kid, and he's like, they're talking. He's trying to relate to. He's like, they're talking about video games, and he's like, yeah, I had a Gamecast, and the kid's like, he said, what? He goes, yeah, Gamecast. You know, he's like, you know, they made the GameCube and the Dreamcast, but he's like, shut up, man. Gamecast, okay? Like he's just trying to relate. Like it's totally not a thing, but he's trying to like relate. And so that's a part of the, like a reference that I didn't exactly intend on. But it's still pretty. There was a GameCube and the Dreamcast.
So then if you actually look at like our first week's episode, like our logo is one half GameCube and one half Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And that's where Gamecast came from for us. That we came up with.
And then Gamecast, our producer,
our followers will like randomly message me and they're like, "Oh, dude, like I can't wait for the next episode of Gamecast." And I'm like,
are you
I
serious?
swear to God.
And you're just
I'm just like
frothing at the mouth,
I'm just
angry.
like, no. Your Gamecast.
I didn't know that part. I'm really happy.
Gets me out of my rhythm. So do you actually have like a favorite like rhythm game?
Batman Arkham.
Besides Batman Arkham Knight. Besides Batman Arkham City.
Guitar Hero World Tour on the Wii.
Okay, so like speaking of like Guitar Hero, did you ever do like Through the Fire and the Flames? Like
no, I actually decided to go outside. Social.
You just like insulted like all of like
I know.
2008's YouTube community.
Okay. The reason why it has so many views is because everyone who viewed the video didn't spend the time trying to learn how to do it on the hardest difficulty. They just watched someone else do it and went, wow, okay, I can let this go now. I can stop trying to do this, knowing that knowing that I'm never going to do this with dignity in my own home.
There's like a flame war in the comments with like everyone who's ever done that being like, actually, it was a little bit more like cooler than that, and I feel like really insulted that you just like.
Open invitation. Come into the cyber complex, play that game, play that thing on the hardest difficulty. If you get 70% of the notes, I will give you $20. Anyone listening?
I'm still waiting on the $10 that I'm owed for winning this beard competition.
Okay, I told you that I would purchase you food, and you seemed okay with it weeks ago.
Okay, well,
I think you're just bringing it up because it's a hot button topic to bring on the show.
But did I get my food?
Did you not hear in the intro that I just moved? Okay,
But
that's a yes or no question.
I don't want to answer it with a yes or no.
Yeah, because it puts you in a pretty bad spot. Because it's either yes, I did hear it, and I'm harping on someone who has $0 and 0 cents, or no, I was not paying attention to the other half of this show.
I plead the fifth.
I plead a fifth. That's such a great sketch. I wish Dave Chappelle would come on the show. I'm just saying ridiculous stuff.
Set out. That's 6.
That's 6. I have to go.
You can go.
Oh man, bye guys. Thanks for.
Oh my God.
Hold on, do it with me. Tip of the tongue, teeth in the lips. Tip of the tongue. You're not gonna do it.
I can't do that. I have a lisp and it'll come out funny.
Oh man, you know who else has a lisp that I just noticed? Or at least on this one song. Michael Bublé.
He does have a pretty noticeable.
There's a song where, and if Michael, if you're listening, I love your music.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle and Michael Bublé.
Yeah, whatever. Me and Peter have jammed to Me and Mrs. Jones in a totally platonic way, like 100 times. But there's one song. It's like I've got the world on a string, and that string is wrapped around my finger. And it's like, I've got the world on a string. And it's so noticeable. I was listening to it one day, and Maddie was like, does he have a lisp? And I'm like I get all defensive because I really like his music. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Why would you even say that? That's mean. And then this chorus comes back around, world on a string, and we start dying. We started freaking laughing so hard. She was like, you can't say that he doesn't have a lisp.
So relating back to rhythm, last week, as per usual, whenever Nick and I talk about Michael Bublé, we always have to start singing Me and Mrs. Jones.
Yes.
Platonically. Except for that one time.
I don't know what time you're talking about, and I don't want to talk about it. Go on.
That's because he knows what time I'm talking about.
Are we talking about the time? Oh God. We can't. We're going to out ourselves because we're going to mention. Okay, because in some order. Okay, here, listen. The context of the story works like this.
I don't actually think there was.
Listen, the context of the story works like this. I'm going to tell you three things about the story why we can't tell it. Showers, high school, emphasizing high school, and alcohol. So we're not going to tell the story on the show. You know those three things. Those are the three interesting things. Do with it what you will.
We actually did not. We didn't even play that song, but when we were friends back then.
So then what did you talk about?
I wasn't talking about anything. I was just trying to be funny.
Well, then I outed us. All right, now I have to tell the story.
We're not telling the story.
Really quick story.
No, we're getting back on topic. Stop.
We're really drunk.
No, stop. No.
And we're going in this hot tub. We both had bathing suits on, but we figured we'd save some time.
All right, I'm going off now.
And we rinse off. We would because shower just feels weird to say. Rinse off in a close proximity to each other before we entered this hot tub and played Smash in the hot tub, which we did do that. And Smash is like the game on the Wii U, the console, not like anything weird, though kind of weird to play video games in a hot tub. It was an experiment worth trying. It was worth trying. We basically took a big plank of wood and laid it across the hot tub, put a friggin' TV on the plank of wood, and hooked up game controllers, some of which were wireless, and played Smash Brothers in the hot tub.
On the Smash machine.
On the Wii U, which I played 2 games on. I'll say 2.5. I played a little bit of Mario Maker, and then I was like, oh man, I forgot. I don't really like playing Mario.
You also played Star Fox Zero.
No, I didn't actually play it.
Really?
I watched.
I thought you pre-ordered it.
I did, and then I never picked it up because I saw that it's a carbon copy. It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't a new release.
Okay.
So I canceled my pre-order.
So what we're trying to say is that
Maybe I didn't cancel my pre-order. Maybe there's a GameStop that's about to close down, and they're like, we can't.
Was it the
Nick
one
didn't come pick up his Star Fox Zero?
Was it the Emerald Square one? Emerald Square Mall one?
It was the one.
Yeah, they definitely closed down. They're no longer there.
They're no longer there?
They're no longer there.
Who do I call about getting my Star Fox Zero then?
Corporate? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. We call GameStop corporate. They're just having a party
So
over there
if-
because their stock is worth.
No, so like if we go
$500.
GameStop as the Gamecast, as a couple of Game Cats, do you think we'll
Go on.
that's
I'm listening.
we're gonna watch your career with great interest. Smash is definitely a game you definitely need like a type of rhythm for.
Yes and no. Smash is a game of fighting rhythms sometimes.
But that's still a rhythm.
Yeah, no, I just mean like you get into your own rhythm and then somebody else messes up that rhythm and then you try to mess up their rhythm over and over again. I'm a very aggressive player by default, so I find a lot of success when I open up the match.
Yep.
And I'm like trying to overwhelm my opponent with like high, like I don't want to say high priority because priority doesn't exactly exist in
Yep.
melee.
Mm-hmm.
It's more timing.
Yep.
But
Which could come with priority.
but
No, I'm messing with the continue.
And I try to do really quick moves that net me a bunch of time to do more moves. But then I will I'll go all over the screen, try to chase, and then I stop. Literally stop. And I notice that when I do that, people are like, "Oh shit, he's about to come in right now," and then they'll throw out a big hitbox, and I just like walk up to them and shine them. I'm like, "Lol, idiot! Why would you do anything?"
Lol, idiot. I'm dead on that one.
Have you?
Can I say that I'm very like not happy at this exact moment in time?
Because the sun's in your face.
The sun is like right in my eyes.
Well, you look great. What you could, I think you're just on the top. Like if you sit up a bit, no, I don't know. Do you get above it?
No,
No, it's
No.
still just right in your face.
Yep.
I tried.
We're doing great.
That what I was just talking about in Smash reminds me of one of the funniest things I've ever heard from a UFC fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen Forrest Griffin versus Anderson Silva? It's a classic fight. Basically, what happens, okay, is Forrest Griffin tries to punch Anderson Silva in the face multiple times, and Anderson Silva pretty much every time. It's a pretty short, dominating fight that Anderson finishes early. Pretty much every time, Anderson is just like bop, 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 like just avoiding and hitting. It's Forrest Griffin has a podcast. On podcast, he talks about. It's like, all right, so I'm in there. I'm like, all right, let's try to punch this dude in the face. And then he just moves out of the way, and he has this face like, why would you ever try to do that? And then just whops me over and over, like, you idiot. You can't. Like, what are you doing? What, you trying to punch me in my face? I don't think so.
I'm kind of so like we're talking about like rhythm, and now we're talking about fighting, and I'm kind of mad that more games don't incorporate like the rhythm from like Batman, from like the Arkham games into like their into their gameplay style. So look, I will forever in a day. Did you really just?
I'm gonna put arms. It's a T-pose drink. Go on with the rhythm. Yeah. No. Well, but plenty of games did.
But like not as well.
Yeah, it's hard to recreate that when you're kind of ripping it, right? When you're just taking it from another company.
Fair enough. So like the only game that I can, I gotta stop hitting my mic, dude. This is not good. The sun's in my eyes. I hate it. I go like right here. All right, yeah, there we go. This works.
You want to switch sides? I'll take the sun.
No, this is fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good now because like they got like the Hitler. Like,
let's switch sides. Yeah.
This is my side.
It doesn't have to be,
but I want it to be.
Okay.
Good.
I'm glad.
Me too.
Are we about? I'm gonna fight you right now.
My rhythm is better than yours.
In a threatful way, in a threatening, platonic way.
All right. So the only game that I could really think of that, like, right off the top of my head, that kind of like tried to get like that whole like rhythmic fighting in was, oh god, I'm never gonna live this one down. Is The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I'm not gonna argue. It does it really well.
No,
it doesn't do it well.
It does not. It's a bad game. It's a bad game.
The Amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the most recent releases, not.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
What you're saying is a horrible game.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I like Spider-Man. I'll play every single Spider-Man game. Well, I said that every Spider-Man game is fantastic. No, I won't because I can't. Wish I could.
There are like 90 bad Batman games.
That one for the Super Nintendo was pretty good though. The one based off like the animated series.
I know what you're talking about, but there's For every good Batman game, there's legit 3 or 4 horrible Batman games.
Agreed. I'm pretty sure that the Angry Video Gamers
Has a Batman game.
has a Batman game episode, and he went over like 20 games.
It literally.
Yeah. So now here's the thing. You're probably asking yourself, Peter, if you knew The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a bad game, why did you play it? Well, if you are, I'm glad that you asked. So there was one
There was what?
there was one particular costume in that game that I loved that wasn't in any other Spider-Man game. And it was the Superior Spider-Man costume.
Ah.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go on the Google Images right now and search up the Superior Spider-Man, and you're going to thank me for it.
And not only that, you probably don't know what that's referencing. So I would go ahead and go on YouTube and type in Comic Storian.
You know, I'm glad that we were on the stage that I was about to say that.
Comic Storian.
Shout out to Comic Storian.
The Superior Spider-Man. Great breakdown of not just he does great breakdowns of the comics, but he provides excellent context for how funky and out of place you feel as someone who's been like caught up with the comics the whole time, and when you read that. So check that video out too if you don't know what we're talking about when we say
that storyline. Technically started in Amazing Spider-Man. I want to see issue. It was either 797 or 798. No, 697 through 698.
Something like that.
And it continued through Amazing Spider-Man 700, and then it starts the Superior Spider-Man run. I don't want to spoil anything because it's truly like a masterclass in comic book like storytelling.
But yeah, specifically like storytelling in general, but comic book storytelling and the history of that comic book specifically.
And I'm not going to spoil anything, but I really love that suit. That's the only, like, I don't want to say like main series Spider-Man game, but it's like the only console Spider-Man game where the Superior Spider-Man suit was available. And it's the only reason I bought the game. It was a bad game. This is the only reason I bought that game. It was just so I could get the Superior Spider-Man costume and play that game. I will say that the web swinging in that game was pretty good, though. There's a certain rhythm you needed for that.
I would know. So
here's the thing. It did something kind of like really like innovative with the web swinging in that game, and it mapped the hands for web swinging to the right to the. I played on the PlayStation, so the R2 and the L2 button. So if you wanted to swing, if you wanted to shoot a web with like your right hand, you needed to press the R2 button. And webs actually connect to buildings in this game. You know, as opposed to I'm just going to shoot out a web and it's going to attach to the top of the skybox.
Are you pooping on the Spider-Man game on the Xbox?
Yeah.
You best not. That was a great game.
I mean, that was my first Spider-Man.
That was my first, dude. That's one of the first third-person character action that I was like, I'm in love. I mean,
hey, so full disclosure, I'm really good at gaming. Stop. I'm really good at gaming, and I know it's an ongoing joke where like I talk about a game, I'm like, hey, I'm really bad at this game. So let me tell you when I say that particular Spider-Man game, the first one that came out, you know, the movie tie-in game, it was really bad at it.
We were really young, bro. We were 6 years old when that game came out.
We were like 6 years old when that movie came out.
We were 5 years old when that movie.
The movie came out in 01?
I'm pretty sure that movie came out in 01. Or was it 01 or 03?
No, it was definitely 02.
So then we were 6?
We had to have been 6.
So then we were 7 when we were playing.
Probably. But yeah.
Woo.
So yeah, no, so moving on. So L2, R2, right hand, left hand. And you kind of had to like time your web swings to properly attach the building. You needed like a certain rhythm for that. Now, like we said at the beginning of the episode, all games could be classified as a rhythm game. Each game has a particular rhythm that you need to, get into in order to properly play the game. But go ahead and tell us what some of your favorite actual rhythm games are. Mine's Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, even though I'm really, really bad at it and I haven't beaten it yet, and I'm only 2 stars deep.
Rhythm game. Sly Cooper. I'm kidding. There's one level in the Sly Cooper games, the alligator.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Valid.
No, I really like Parappa. Parappa's cool.
That's the one.
Yeah, I mean.
Remember the time that you and I tried to play Rock Band together?
Yeah, that was awful.
It was awful.
I think it was actually Guitar Hero World 4.
It was one of the two.
But I think that's pretty much gonna do it for this episode of Gamecast or Cats.
Cast.
Wherever you come from, totally fine. Either one is fine. But why don't you go ahead and follow Rhode Island Broadcasting, and please come to the Dr. Fix It Cyber Complex to watch our show live. We had a couple live viewers this time, and I thank you guys so much for coming out. And
you're all breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. But yeah, that is gonna be it for today's show. We will see you next time.